Hey guys, today for the review we have the IMARS Handheld Oscilloscope. We received this oscilloscope multimeter from the IMARS company to make a review. It's the IMARS Handheld Oscilloscope and Multimeter. Let's start with the unboxing. It comes with an alligator clip probe, 2 probe leads and a Type-C cable, a voltage probe set, an operation instruction diagram and a user manual, a carrying bag for the oscilloscope multimeter, unlike most devices that perform only one role, this unit combines a handheld multimeter with an oscilloscope. The back of the multimeter features a kickstand that makes the display easy to view. On top, there are 3 BNC connectors for the oscilloscope. The 2 connectors on the left support 2 input channels. The connector on the right supplies a built-in signal source for generating a waveform. Remove the protective cover of the multimeter probes. Attach the black probe to the COM terminal. Attach the red probe to the voltage resistance terminal. Remove the probe tip covers of the test leads. Press and hold the power button to turn on the multimeter. When you turn on the multimeter, it will be in the voltage testing mode. Press the resistance button to switch to the resistance testing mode. Press the current button to switch to the current testing mode. Press the AWG button to switch to the arbitrary waveform generator mode. Press the voltage button to switch to the voltage testing mode. Press the utility button. A pop-up window appears where you can select the beep option, backlight, and power off. Press enter. From here, you can either turn on or off the beep sound. I'm going to turn off the beep sound by pressing the down arrow and pressing enter. Press the left arrow to go back to the previous menu. Press the down arrow and press enter to select the backlight. You have the option to select from 1 to 5 in brightness. As I go from 1 to 5, the display keeps getting brighter and brighter. Number 1 is the darkest and number 5 is the brightest. Use the up or down arrow to move through the menu option. I'm going to choose the brightest by pressing number 5 and pressing enter. Press the left arrow to go back to the previous menu. Press the down arrow and press enter to go into the automatic power off option. You have the option to turn off the multimeter automatically after 15 minutes or never turn it off automatically. I think turning off the multimeter after 15 minutes is a good option. To go into the oscilloscope mode, press enter channel 1 or channel 2. Let's begin testing the multimeter features. Press the voltage button. The circles marked on the display correspond to the probe connections, providing a useful visual reminder. This multimeter runs on a rechargeable battery. To recharge, plug the Type-C cable into a USB-C charger. Let's test the voltage of this AA battery. When I place the probes on the battery terminals, the multimeter shows roughly 1.5 volts, which is what we expected. I have a surge protector that's connected to a wall outlet. Let's check the AC voltage. Press the F2 button to switch from DC to AC mode. The reading shows around 120 volts, which is what we expected for US homes. If you want to save this value, press the save key. To view the saved data, press the menu key. When a menu appears, select data and press the enter key. The display shows 20 saved measurements. This device can save 2,000 measurement data. If you don't want this saved data, you can delete it by pressing the F2 key and pressing enter. Press the F1 key to go back to the main menu. The next test is to check the resistance of this 270 ohm resistor. The reading shows around 270 ohms, which is what we expected. The next test is to do diode testing. Press the F2 button to switch to the diode mode. A good diode should have a voltage value between 0.2 volts and 0.7 volts. The reading shows around 0.6 volts. When we invert the probe leads, the reading shows OL, which is what we expected. The next test is to do continuity testing. Press the F3 button to switch to the continuity mode. Touching the probe leads to the alligator clips triggers a beep, indicating continuity. The next test is to do capacitance measurement. This is a 0.1 microfarad capacitor. Press the F4 button to switch to the capacitance mode. The reading shows around 106 nanofarad, which is what we expected. Now it's time to test the oscilloscope feature. Connect the BNC connector to the BNC socket on channel 1. Push in and twist to lock the connector securely in place. When you power on the device, it defaults to the multimeter mode. Press the CH1 key to switch to the oscilloscope mode. To test this 9-volt battery, attach the ground clip to the negative terminal and connect the probe to the positive terminal. The waveform shows the voltage going from 0 volts to 9 volts. If I inverse the polarity, the voltage goes from 0 volts to negative 9 volts. I have a circuit that shows an LED chaser using a 555 timer. On the oscilloscope, I have attached the probes to ground and the path of an LED. The circuit has 6 LEDs. When I switch on the power, each LED lights up as it receives voltage, and you can see the oscilloscope trace jumping up and down in response. This becomes obvious as I switch the time from 1 millisecond to 100 milliseconds. Given that it functions as both an oscilloscope and a multimeter, it's impressively compact and versatile. It's packed with functionality. It has an easy-to-read display. It gives an accurate reading. It's great for diagnosing issues in both digital and analog circuits. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing for more electronics tips and tutorials, and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.